And the first subject is parenthood. Who wants to come in on that? Ed.
Been thinking recently that I should maybe have a baby, but I've thought about it and definitely not. Couldn't handle that amount of responsibility, something that precious. It's terrifying. You know, I've got friends who've just had a baby and they offer that thing around like a plate of biscuits. Do you want to hold my baby? Do you want to hold my baby? I don't want to touch your baby. That is a heart in a bag. I'm going nowhere near that thing. You wouldn't send the work experience into the boardroom, would you? Start me off at holding your uncle and I will work my way up. This is Uncle Toby, 47, from Swansea. Don't worry about dropping me, Ed. I am absolutely shit-faced. Still can't help it. I still think I might want a baby. Like, there's just moments in life I'm just grabbing at signs from the universe. Think, oh, maybe I should have a baby. It happened to me the other day. I was in the queue in a shop to buy a new light bulb. Because I'm not a student anymore, my light bulb had gone. I'm not going to sit there in the dark for 6 months. So I was in the queue, and in the queue in front of me was a man with a baby. He was a dad. You've got to give people the benefit of the doubt in that scenario. You can't go storming in going, excuse me, is that your baby? You've just got to admit it probably is, right? And on the wall, there were these light switches. They weren't real light switches. They were just like designer ones to show you what they would look like on the wall. And the baby was playing with them. It was going, ah-da-da-da-da-da, playing with them. And the dad was going, yeah, try that one. And was going, ah-da-da. I saw that. I thought, ooh, that's quite sweet. Maybe I want a baby. There's something in that tableau that I quite like. Maybe I want a baby. Am I broody? Is this brood? And then the dad walked off with the baby, and I wandered over to the light switches and started playing with them. I thought, oh no, that's what I wanted.
Well done, Ed. Things you wouldn't hear on the radio.
In that episode of the Hugh Dennis story, Hugh Dennis was played by Bruce Willis, Steve Punt was played by Hugh Dennis, and the band was Shawaddy Waddy.
You touch my turnips and I'll fuck you up.
And now for a travel update. There is an accident on the M1. It's a good one, so hurry up. There's flames and everything.
Next, a book at bedtime. Martin Jarvis reads the speeches of Hitler in a high-pitched girl's voice.
Good afternoon, this is Radio 4 and I have a regional accent.
Next on Radio 4, the dogging forecast.
Here on Traffic Watch, we're predicting long delays on the M4, where I'm about to hit my ex-wife's car with this helicopter.
And now it's the panel show where our panel try to stave off premature ejaculation. Yes, it's just a minute.
Good morning, this is Breakfast with Tony Blackburn. I'm not actually on the radio, I've broken into your kitchen. Do you want toast?
Next, more lesbian propaganda with Woman's Hour.
Well, you've certainly stumped the Gardener's Question Time panel. None of us know how to bring a fox to orgasm.
You're listening to Heart FM. The same 5 songs all day long.
"6 a.m, welcome to the breakfast show. Who's up at 6 a.m? My wife's leaving me. My dad didn't get up at 6 a.m. and he was a fucking minor.
OK, getting that round the points. Go to Frankie, Hugh and Michael. Let's see the first topic, please. The first subject is catering. Anyone's given that? Josh.
My favourite place to eat is the breakfast buffet in a hotel.
Because at a breakfast buffet, I will eat absolutely everything. That's the rule, isn't it? At home, I will have cereal or toast for breakfast. At a breakfast buffet, I am having cereal and toast as my starter. In combinations you would never consider at home. Coming back and what have I got? Well, 8 hash browns, topped with some Dutch cheese, actually. I have 4 pain au chocolat, 6 croissants, some segments of a fruit I've never heard of, and 12 of the smallest orange juices you have ever seen in your life. I eat so much at breakfast buffet, I'm so tired, I have to go back to bed. And then sleep through to my next breakfast buffet. I'll be mixing the cereals, going crunchy nut cornflakes with shreddies. Who do I think I am, Heston Blumenthal? You've got to do it, don't you? It's like when you're in Nando's, they give you the plastic glass to pour your own drink. Think, well, I'll be an idiot not to make myself a spranter in this situation, wouldn't I? What am I having? Having a Sprocofola, actually, yeah, all of it. What did it taste like? Utter shit, absolutely terrible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe. OK, let's have a look at the next subject. And the topic is smoking. Let's come out. Joe.
I've actually given up smoking, which, well, that's a lie. I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those pricks that says they've given up and then goes to the pub and smokes yours. Because when I was a proper smoker, I hated pricks like that. I really like... You know, someone comes to you and go, have you got a spare cigarette? I go, no. Because unfortunately, I'm addicted to them. Which means I pretty much take a shine to all of them. Have you got a spare cigarette? Yeah, I do, weirdly, because I'm a 19-a-day man myself. Thanks away, you knobhead. What else, like... Warnings, they do nothing for me. Like, you know, the warnings, they're quite drastic things. They're like smoking kills. So? I've got a horrible picture and still people don't give up. And I thought, bloody hell. So I've come up with a couple of ideas, right, to get people to give up smoking. They're just ideas, right? You could either put a warning on cigarette packets that says something like, one of these fags has been up a dog's arse. Yeah, I think that'll separate the men from the boys, isn't it? Or simply make cigarettes cock-shaped.
Well done, Joe. Thank you very much. So that leaves Milton. Let's see what topic you've got. And the topic is school.
That last bloke was a bit weird, wasn't he? Anyway, I went back to my old school the other day. First time in 30 years. I took a note. Teacher said, so, Jones, what have you done with your life? I said, oh, I'm just Britain's top Ofsted inspector. They were a lot nicer to me after that. I was there for the funeral of my old science teacher. They asked me to say a few words, so I did. Method. We put the coffin in the crematorium. Observations. It burned with an orangey bright flame. Conclusion. No more homework.
Well done. Pointing out to the Milton Jones. Very good. Sit back. There we go. What has Boris Johnson splashed out on this week?
He's bought 2 things called Ziegler Wasserwerfer 9000s.
He has bought the Ziegler Wasserwerfer 9000.
Yeah, they're water cannon. He's bought 2 water cannons.
Yes.
I'm hoping it's going to be like Boris bikes, and you can rent them out and ride them around.
His idea is
driving up to your neighbour's barbecue, guy. Hello, Terry. No invitation from me again, I see.
Or you could
Those sausages are coming along very well.
Or put fairy liquid in it and have a foam party.
Surely the best way to stop a riot with a water cannon would be to put some Radox in it. Everyone just relax and have a look.
He said the reason, didn't he? He said the reason he was getting them is because he thought that they could have been used to protect the firemen during the riots in 2011. As if, of course, the firemen didn't have their own high projectile warping machine they could have used.
I reckon he got really drunk and just bought it off eBay. Because that's what happened to me. I've got a pair of roller skates and a windsurfer in my shed.
Windsurfer? That's a man.
Yeah, I know.
Does he ever put on the roller skates and you just hear him just roller skating around the...
You're laughing, but the bloke in your garage is bloody furious, I'll tell you.
What's he doing in there? He's in the shed, isn't he? He's moved.
Do you move him around every so often?
Yeah, because otherwise you get spare bedroom taxed.
If Boris Johnson ever offers to show you his water cannon, say no. And Boris, if you're watching, I don't want your money, I just think you should see our kid.
At the end of that round, the points go to Rob, Hugh and Gary.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely letters for an agony aunt to receive. Dear Deirdre, I'm leaving you.
I want to trace my father. Could you suggest a good marker pen?
I have recently discovered the pleasures of butter in sex. I smear it on the doorknob to stop the kids coming in.
My voice is breaking and there is hair on my chest. Is this normal? Yours, Sally Jenkins, age 9.
Dear bitch, I have trouble making friends. What are you going to do about it?
Dear Deirdre, can that giant man lift me up like a baby? You bet your ass he can.
I have been saving up for a sex change. I don't care what my wife says. She is going to have it.
Dear Auntie, my testicles are the size of space hoppers. I don't need any advice, I just wanted to tell someone.
My husband and I are 82, and he has recently lost interest in sex. Thank God!
My wife says that I'm a compulsive liar. I think she's jealous that my reggae duet with Rio Ferdinand has reached #1.
I know where you live!
My problem is that I can only ejaculate when I hear a buzzer.
The next topic is things you don't want to hear at Christmas.
I thought we'd have a vegetarian dinner!
It's exactly what I wanted. Princess Diana Scalextrics.
Ding dong merrily on high.
Now, you know that I told you that Dad died in his canoe?
I'm sorry, there was no chimney, so I came through the central heating system. I think I've buggered your boiler.
She's not my granny, and she's not your granny. Whose granny is she?
This year, I have decided to give my Christmas broadcast completely naked.
Mummy, look what we found in these stockings. Daddy.
Did you know that if we took all the money we spent on presents every year and gave it to the homeless, they'd probably spend it on booze?
Oh, yes, this year we're pushing the boat out. We're having a duck, in a goose, in a turkey, in a dog, in a horse, in an old lady.
We've got a problem. Mum doesn't know whether Slutty Vixens 3 is a play, a TV show, or a film.
You know, there are so many unwanted dogs about at Christmas. This year we thought, why bother with a turkey?
Bad news for children. Father Christmas has gone into administration.
Who wants stuffing? Granny?
What did the Bank of England unveil last week?
I think it was a new fiver, wasn't it?
This is the new fiver, my friend. This is the new fiver.
Oh, make it rain.
Oh, yeah, I never thought of doing that. Like, oh, yeah, fiver. Yeah. Oh,
You're making it drizzle at best.
Yeah, hang on, that's it, isn't it? That's the motion. These were lent us by the bank for, interest in Saturka, not for me to go,
That's literally the worst rap video of all time. Never see Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre fetching the money they've just thrown.
Oh, honey, yeah, £30. Does that make your dreams come true? Oh, this would be terrible. Imagine because they're plasticky and clear and see through their polymer notes, which means you could actually go to the laptop and go, I can see you. I can see you producing my money.
Imagine that at a cashier. I can see you. I can see you. Just pay for the condoms and leave.
The testing that they put them through, they said they dipped it in tea for, all those times you mistake a fiver for a hobnob.
I often do that when I'm taunting younger comedians. Oh, really? I eat my fibers.
It could be they realised the recession was caused by people leaving fivers in their jean pockets, putting them in the wash.
Fivers only last they only rarely last 5 years. a £5 note.
You're thrifty, aren't you?
Yeah.
I could make a fiver. I can't even make it last 5 years.
I mean, honestly, cost of living.
This is the most I've ever been paid for this show.
You can't rip it, can you?
It's very difficult to tear. Very
Awful
difficult to burn.
news for magicians.
That is so irritating. I should make it. Doing. Oh, come on. Sign it for me. Oh, is it here? Doing. Come on. Bloody fivers.
I like that
Have you ripped the new notes given to us by the Bank of England specially? Have you literally torn?
Well, they should have made more of an effort to make it stronger. Back to the drawing board, guys.
Can I ask if that's actually allowed? Because one newspaper went mad about the fact that you were defacing the Queen, and then they said of all the indignities Churchill has suffered, being scrunched up, dipped in tea and Ribena is the worst. And I was like, surely it's the nodding dog commercial. Is that less dignified? Oh, yes.
We shall fight them on the beaches. Okay, so those are the fivers, yes, please, if you can.
Guys, bad news, I lost mine.
The first subject is health. Can I have somebody in that? Andy Parsons.
That's one hell of a gingerbread man, isn't it? according to my doctor, she was saying that I've got an underactive thyroid. She said one of the symptoms of this was lifeless hair. I said I may have had this for a while. Doctor said I was borderline overweight. I said, surely that also means I'm borderline ideal. She said apparently they're using testosterone injections in men to help them control their weight. And I was getting, you know, if you are full of testosterone, you know, chances are if you do see a donut, you'll rather more try and shag it than eat it. And apparently bald people, what they're saying, new research is that bald people aren't in fact bald, their hair is just sleeping. Which is definitely going to come as a shock when Wayne Rooney's hair wakes up and finds somebody else just moved in.
Thank you very much, Danny Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The next subject is parties. Who wants to come out? Josh Whittaker.
Looks like an exciting party, doesn't it? I got invited recently to a thing called a traffic lights party. I don't know if you've been invited to one of these. What it is, if you haven't been, it's a party for single people, and it is the bleakest thing humanity has ever done. It's a party where you go wearing the colour of a traffic light depending on your availability to sleep with a stranger. So you wear red if you're not available, orange if it's a maybe, and green if you have absolutely no self-respect at all. I didn't go because I'm a driver, I know how traffic lights work, I know how that party's going to end. It's going to end with one girl stood in green, and then a queue of men with me at the back, slowly pushing forward, going, please be still green when I get there. Please be still green when I get there. Also, I'm a driver, I've driven with people. When they see orange, they'll just go, well, that's essentially green if I go out fast enough, isn't it? Who is wearing red to a traffic light party? If you're wearing red, you do not need to go to a traffic light party. What are your other options? Turning up at A&E and going, no, I'm fine, I just want to watch the carnage of others. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, well done, Josh. So that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is history.
(348 BC). The breakfast cereal Frosties is invented by Alexander the Great. (303 AD). St. George slays the dragon with his new invention, the sword. The other dragons offer him all the money for 20% of the company. 1896. H.G. Wells publishes the book The Time Machine. 1897, H.G. Wells writes the book The Time Machine. 2400 BC. The Chinese merchant Zhang Zhou, the man who discovered gunpowder, is buried on the outskirts of Peking, western Shanghai, and parts of Nepal. 1571. You have no new messages. And finally, 3642 AD. H.G. Wells is born.
Thank you very much. Well done. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Prime Minister Gordon Brown in buoyant mood, but what does ROCB stand for?
Is it what he looks like when he smiles? Is it really old, creepy baby?
Is he just really desperate about his election chances now? He's only got one thing he can do, and he's going, right, OK, call Batman.
Is it ruined our country, bastard?
Is he just giving a weather forecast? Is it rain, occasional cloud, blizzards?
Is it row over Cameron's bedroom? He's already in there, measuring up the curtains.
What are you doing?
Do you think he's actually just found a way to solve the national debt? Is he going, rollover could be billions?
Is he going, there's a robin on the corner of the building?
It would be nice. It would be nice if he just got more distracted by wildlife. That would be quite sweet.
He's just trying to draw attention from the polls. No, there's a robin on the corner of the building.
It's a true purpose. It's a true purpose that your government's in chaos. Is that a chaffinch?
Is it what he's going to do on May the 6th? Is it going to be removals ordered, cab booked?
Would I be right in thinking the art was something to do with recession,
It would,
Dara?
yes, you would be right.
Is it recession over complete bullshit?
It is not that. You're halfway there, remarkably.
That was lovely, the unemployed people. That's it, yeah. We live in Poundland.
Is it recession over confirms Brown?
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
He always does it like that.
Yes, the answer I was looking for was recession over confirms Brown. This is the Prime Minister's cautious announcement of the end of the recession, although he said there is still much more that needs to be done. The Office for National Statistics revealed that this week the economy had grown in the last 3 months of 2009 by 0.1%.
Great day.
Wow. Gee, I just started that. How long is that? I don't think we expected that. We just thought like we expected that. That's what we expected. But that is just like it is difficult to maintain that.
It doesn't matter, but you look like a giddy chameleon. That was amazing.
Yeah, midway through the show, if a fly goes past. All right, how is Gordon Brown doing, and who is he trying to woo at the moment?
He's trying to woo the middle classes.
He is trying to woo the middle classes.
These aren't policies, these are M&S policies, don't they? He's going to change his name from Brown to Autumn Blush.
He's the most unpopular Prime Minister this country's ever had, and yet nobody in the Cabinet thinks they can defeat him in a leadership election. How crap are they?
But what you're forgetting, I think, that we don't know what goes on in the Cabinet, and everyone's got to remember that he has got one eye that doesn't work, and perhaps he would do what I would do if I was him in the Cabinet. I'd wear an eye patch. I'd sit there with an eye patch on, and I'd have a white cat.
There is a theory that Brown would put it over the wrong eye. There's also another thing that no one's going to run against Brown at the moment because what's the prize? You get to lead Labour into an election they'll probably lose. It's like going, oh my God, we've hit an iceberg. Can I drive the ship for a while? Can I?
It's like whatever is thrown at him, he still sort of gets up again. You half expect like Brian Blessed to just pop up every now and again and go, Gordon's alive.
He keeps on saying, I'm getting on with the job. He's like the Millwall of politicians. Nobody likes him, but he doesn't care.
But that's what I mean. He's one of those, and he's having a go, and you think, well, that's all right, but you're running the country. It's like if somebody came in and said, look, I'm not a great surgeon, but I'll have a go.
You know what? Basically,
put the hours in.
I've sewn on a button, so I know I can finish the job. But getting to the stuff, I'm sure I'll recognise the kidney when I see it.
I've played the board game.
There's a photo of him and Darling, actually, which was very interesting, because him and Darling at the same time, the announcement, that, interestingly, is the £10 note that tipped us out of the recession.
But the reason why the economy's grown in the last 3 months is because we had Christmas, isn't it? And people, of course, spend money at Christmas.
Okay.
It's the only time people go absolutely mad. You don't see anyone in July going, I need goose fat. You know?
Basically, though, Western capitalism, isn't it? It's based on people buying stuff they don't need with money they don't have, as opposed to Christmas time, when everybody buys things nobody needs with money they don't have for people they don't even like.
It's a beautiful miracle.
Now we play a round called Don't Go Bacon My Heart.
This game involves Gary and James, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is leadership.
Leadership looks fun, but it's stressful. Just look at anyone leading a conga. On the outside, it looks brilliant, having a great time all the time. Just... Yes, you bloody are. Yes, you bloody are, mate. In their heads, just going, I don't know where I'm going. I didn't plan a route. I never asked for any of this. God, I miss my family. Everyone's trapped in the conga. You think you can leave? You can't leave. Person at the back, maybe, they can let go, make a run for it. Everyone else, you let go. You're not out the conga. Now, you're the leader of a rival conga. Now you've got turf wars to worry about. Worst case scenario, you're second from the back, you let go. The one person behind you loves congas, isn't giving up for anyone. You're trying to mingle at the party with a maniac on your hips. Can have a serious discussion about the Lib Dem conference and still going hell for leather. You'd have to go swimming just to get rid of them. Never going to lead a conga. Never going to lead a free cheers either. I don't know who these lunatics are. I don't know where you acquire that level of confidence. Just get up in a room full of people. Free cheers for Jackie! Hip hip! What if everyone goes, no? Not free cheers for Jackie, she's an unpleasant person. How about no cheers for Jackie? Hip hip, shut up.
Okay, the next topic is commercials that never made it to air.
I wipe my arse with Colgate. And now, I've got a ring of confidence.
If it tastes like butter and spreads straight from the fridge, you've probably had a power cut.
Condoms, because if she'd sleep with you, she'd sleep with anyone.
Ryanair, because I'm worth shit.
As leader of the Labour Party, I always like to look my best. And it's very important to me to have a smooth finish, which is why I use the Mach 4. As I often say, that was a close shave, wasn't it, Gromit?
Frosties, they're all right.
New BG from Garnier. Exfoliates, hydrates, epilates, urinates. Probably not that last one.
Unlimited minutes, unlimited text, unlimited music downloads. Yes, it's our new twat on a train tariff.
Have a break. Have a wank.
Maybe she's born with it. In which case, I probably shouldn't take the piss. Bekele has to walk for 5 miles every day for fresh water. That's why she ought to be thinking about the new Mazda.
Coco Chanel. Says bloody horrible, I'm sticking to Horlicks.
Lidl, because life didn't work out as you planned.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bacon. doing an ad on British TV.
What happened?
Have you got that bloated, uncomfortable feeling in your stomach? Then try going for a shit.
The DFS furniture sale is not currently on.
This Christmas, get Mock the Week on DVD, featuring all the regulars: Dara O'Brien, and through this week, Andy Parsons, Will, Milton Jones, and of course, don't forget Mickey Flanagan, East End of London, and of course, everybody, Chris Allison. Everyone, at the end of the round, the point of Alistair, Hugh, and Gary.
Which neatly brings us to the Democratic Unionist Party, who are the new power brokers. Let me just reassure you that you may be enjoying my work, or Graham Norton's work, or Terry Wogan's work. The DUP are not in the whimsical end of Irish. They're not in the gentle comedy of the slightly wry look at life. They're in the chaining up swings on a Sunday so children can't play school of Irish politics.
Why didn't you never tell us about them?
Because, frankly...
This has been 12 years or whatever this show's been going for. And you're just going, all the stuff you normally say, that they won't let me fight the robots and robot wars or whatever.
Give me one round where I can fight the robots with a weapon of my choice. And we'll see who's the winner there. Who's a Lord now, Mr. Killalot. Why have I not told you about the pleasures of the DUP? Because you ain't ready for the DUP. Wait till you meet the people who don't believe in dinosaurs.
They are so homophobic, it's amazing. One of their councillors blamed us gays for natural disasters. And do you know what? I quite like those mad bastards for that sort of thing, because there are days when I feel I haven't achieved enough in my life. I just feel they protest too much because they love a parade, and we love a parade.
One of them was in the council, and somebody applied to put an Oktoberfest, to hold an Oktoberfest, and he said that's fine, but then tried to ban beer. They're not the party.
Oktoberfest without beer is just sausage and lederhosen, and no one wants that.
There's sort of constantly been an obsession with sort of what Labour might do, and even after the election there's been an obsession with Labour ministers having to U-turn because they supported Jeremy Corbyn. But surely the DUP thing is the biggest U-turn of all, to go with the other U-turns on social care and the fact that Theresa May campaigned for Remain and is now pushing for a Brexit so aggressive Pret a Manger is going to have to change its name to Lunch in it.
We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Tiff, which category would you like?
I'll go for home news.
OK, home news is the category. The answer is 1/3. What is the question?
Is it how much of a bottle of vodka I'd have to drink before I found Lewis Hamilton even vaguely interesting?
Is it how many of this week's news stories lend themselves to comedy?
It's been that kind of 3 weeks, really, hasn't it, Andy? Yes.
Is it how much of Greece can you buy for £1?
Is it how much of Kim Kardashian is made up of arse?
Is it, of all of the children that I taught maths to, which proportion of them genuinely had a future?
Is it what emoticon would I use to tell someone that I've wrapped a rubber band around my scrotum?
Is it what I'm always missing from a threesome?
Is it FIFA's target survival rate for stadium workers at the World Cup?
Is it, according to legend, how much of you is your head?
Yes. Should be noted.
I'll tell you what it could be, Ansu. What proportion of that team have I seen completely butt naked?
Yeah. Has there anyone got any answers to a question? I feel like I have to ask for 10 minutes.
Is it how many of the words spoken by Kanye West are about Kanye West?
The way you pronounce Kanye West is incredible.
Well,
it's like you're asking somebody if they're able to West. Like...
Is it think of a fraction that rhymes with the word bird? Think of a fraction that rhymes with the word herd?
No.
Is it think of a fraction that rhymes with the word interred?
No.
Is it think of a fraction that sounds funny if you say it with an Irish accent?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was waiting for you to do. Think of a fraction that I say is 1/3.
What a funny country.
You're not on Radio 4 yet.
I do. This is genuinely the correct answer.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
What proportion of the works planned by Network Rail have already gone wrong or over budget?
There absolutely is the question I was looking for. I knew that.
I wouldn't have got that, mate. I wouldn't have got that.
Tasneem Aslam, spokesman for the Pakistani Foreign Ministry, the actual quote she said was, "Anyone who describes Islam as a religion as intolerant encourages violence," which is really having it both ways, to be honest.
There's a Qatari Muslim scholar who's called, in answer to this, called for a day of anger, which I think is not a day of action or a day of anger. What is it will really take it out of you if you have to spend the whole day just in a mood? Just coming on, what's for dinner today? Back to your work having to pretend to be angry all the time. And how do you make sure the women are doing it as well? You know, I hope you're frowning behind that black
That Ed was saying, the Pope doesn't seem to have his finger on the pulse. He's the head of the Catholic Church. They've never been that up to date, have they? They've always stayed a little bit behind on the...
Yeah, well, no, they have, because, I mean, I remember the last one. I remember JP2, as he's known in the street.
Yeah.
J to the P to the I. Because he in his last days, he apologised for the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
How old is this guy?
There is.
He's old. One thing, yeah, sorry about that. We're in high spirits. We're all a bit drunk.
One of the great things that this Pope said was he said that we must all take the Da Vinci Code with a pinch of salt. And you think, well, he can talk. Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous, the idea that Jesus was married. We all know that he rose from the dead and flew up into the sky.
The Pope effectively just saying that he thought Christianity was superior to Islam.
Yes, he was.
But isn't that essentially his job? He is the head of the Catholic Church. He's not supposed to be there bigging up Islam, is he?
No. There's a difference between bigging up Islam and describing it as evil and inhuman. I think
not that he did that. All he did was quote a 14th century text, which, let's face it, compared to the Bible, was a hyper-modern text.
Yes, but I think we've all learnt, and surely the Pope has learnt, that the Muslim world tends to be...
What are you saying about the Muslims?
Touchy.
I think if you're going to lash out at a religion, lash out at the Buddhists. If you make a Buddhist really, really angry, the worst thing he'll do is set fire to himself.
Where has Jesus turned up recently?
In everyone, Dara.
He's turned up on MySpace, hasn't he?
He has turned up on MySpace,
He's got his own little page on MySpace now, and it's something along the lines of you know, you've got to try and spot where you might be able to see Jesus, isn't there? And there's this big picture of like a pint glass with his face on it, and you're supposed to be as if the only time you would see Jesus was after you'd finished a certain amount of alcohol.
Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is journalism. Who wants to come in that? Glenn.
I always wanted to be a journalist, even when I was a kid, even when I was on my gap year, backpacking around Surrey. I remember the day I told my family I wanted to be a newsreader. I was at my nan's leaving drinks, which sounds a lot nicer than wake, doesn't it? And, I felt bad because I never really got to know her, and I never really got to know my granddad because he died decades before I was born after a difficult 6-year battle with Germany. I remember my grandmother told me just before she died, she said, Glenn, it doesn't matter what you achieve in life. It doesn't matter what you achieve. As long as by the end of your life you're happy and you can afford your own bed, that's all you need. That's the last thing she told me on her death chair. I used to love being a newsreader. Before that, I was a roving reporter, and it was great fun. I got to travel the world, got to learn new languages. Before that, I couldn't really speak any other languages. I could speak some French. I could say, like, hi, my name is Glenn. I would like 2 baguettes, please, but apparently that's still English. Once I even got to be a red carpet reporter. I got to stand on the red carpet for the National Voiceover Awards. It was amazing. I got to interview the guy that had just won the award for best work in disguising a victim's voice on Crime Watch. And I remember saying to him, you must be so delighted for your award. And he said, well, there's just so many people I'd like to thank.
Very good, very good. The first subject is, in the week in which the Oscar nominations were revealed, rejected lines from movies.
E.T. phone premium rate set.
Milk, bread, rich tea biscuits. Are you sure this is the right list, Mr. Schindler?
There are 50,000 Zulu outside. Now tell Jade to get back inside and keep her bloody mouth shut.
This T-1000 cybernetic organism has encountered a problem and needs to close. Do you wish to send an error report?
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, but on weekends, Marjorie.
A census taker tried to test me once. I ate his liver with some fish fingers and a bottle of Jacob's Creek.
Good morning, Cheltenham!
Well, there's one thing I should tell you, Mr. Darcy. I have chlamydia.
What, Rambo? You want to wait for a UN resolution?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. But thank you for phoning the BT helpline.
Luke Skywalker, I am your mother.
The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Sarah, which category would you like?
Sport, please.
Okay, very big at the moment. Sport. The answer is 3 billion. What is the question?
Is the question, how many sleeps are there till England wins the World Cup?
Is it how many people on the planet would be a better commentator than Phil Neville?
How many people will have to die in the Middle East before Tony Blair thinks that he might not be the best peace envoy there is?
Is it what percentage battery life do I need on an iPhone to last all day?
Is it about how many hairs were in the swing bin at the end of Chewbacca's full body waxing?
Is it the amount of adverts Joe Hart's been in?
Is it how many free chickens is Gary now going to have delivered by Nando's?
But I would do it!
You would pour yourself out for the free chickens.
Is it how many times has David Cameron said to Nick Clegg, "Shh, not now"?
Okay, I'm going to move you towards a correct answer.
This is how many, it's loads, it's how many people actually watch the World Cup.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well done, very good. Well done, sir. Yes, the question I was looking for was how many viewers around the world are claimed to be tuning into the World Cup. This is the predicted figure of worldwide viewers, with some estimating it'll reach as high as 3.5 billion. FIFA expects the tournament to be the most watched TV event ever. At the time of recording, we don't know the result of England's second game against Uruguay, which possibly determines whether or not you reach the tournament's knockout stage, and certainly determines the mood of a lot of people watching the show at the moment. So, sad face, happy. Different know where to go on this, to be honest. So, best luck, hard luck, you know, them's break.
I can't stand it!
Well, you can't stand winning a match as successfully as that.
Yes, that's right, I love it.
I'm sure the fans don't really matter what the score was, as long as everyone tried their best. Right?
Yeah, high five! High five, everybody!
Some things aren't worth joking about.
What's the betting? Somebody said to Wayne Rooney, Uruguay, and he said, yeah, no, and Colleen's a girl.
Didn't they try and acclimatise? One of the ways they acclimatised was by eating really hot curries. And apparently Sturridge likes a vindaloo, Gerrard likes a madras, and Rooney prefers a plain naan.
It was like 10 years ago. When are we going to forget it?
This show will never forget things like that.
They are changing lots of things about football this year, and I think actually we could move that a little bit further. I've got some suggestions to how we can improve the World Cup. So, for instance, listen up. When someone gets a free kick, they shouldn't have to use that on the ball. They could use it on any of the other players or the ref. Use it anywhere. Also, when there's substitutions, I think that should be like online grocery shopping. Like, oh, you asked for Theo Walcott, but we couldn't find him. So we've sent you retired cricketer Ian Botham.
Do you know what? I'd still vote for you ahead of Sepp Blatter.
What other innovations have we seen in this World Cup?
Spray foam.
Spray foam.
Love it.
Spray foam is magic.
So exciting,
It's
isn't it?
really good, isn't it? Like,
really
because
great.
it's actually, I think people genuinely think it's like a wall magically creates a barrier. They go, oh, like they're trapped in a crystal prison. Like Superman do, oh, I can't get out of here. I'm trapped against the glass.
It does disappear pretty quickly, but if you're going to put a white line in front of footballers, it's going to go.
I'm impressed that at no point so far has anyone drawn a cock and balls with it, which you think would be inevitable.
They've not warned us about it, so it just looked like he'd completely lost the plot. You know when like Vanessa started writing things in Big Brother? It look, I can't deal with the pressure, I'm just spraying on the ground.
A round called Don't Stop Till You Get a Laugh. This game involves Frank, Andy, Frankie and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge who produce the funniest stuff, okay? Here we go, let's spin the wheel. First topic is parenting. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Getting quick. You may have seen that there was a woman gave birth recently who was 72 years old. That's not right, is it? You don't want to be a kid struggling to walk to find out your mum's in exactly the same state. But in this country, it's been more, isn't it? The young people who've been giving birth. Alfie Patton, supposedly a dad at 13 years old. And then they were saying, oh, no, he's not the dad, some people. I don't know what's going to happen to Alfie now. Maybe he's going to have to join Fathers for Justice. Hey, he's probably got a superhero costume, hasn't he?
Thank you very much, Andy. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is history. Who wants to come in on that? Frank.
Let's do it. Yes, history. I think it's important not to trust history. Don't take things for granted. I watched that film, The Elephant Man, recently, and it suddenly struck me after all these years that the Elephant Man doesn't actually look like an elephant. It doesn't. The Elephant Man doesn't look like an elephant. If anything, he looks like fresh ginger. Now, obviously, if you're putting up posters trying to sell a freak show, you can't say, coming soon, the Ginger Man. Or people are going to think, OK, they're not the best-looking people in the world, but I'm not paying to see one. Now, you can edit history now, right? They've brought it... Scientists have found out which part of the brain contains your bad memories, and they have developed a drug, you must have read about this, that can actually erase bad memories. It's what Ronnie Wood's 20-year-old girlfriend calls the morning after pill.
Thank you very much, Frank. That leaves us with Frankie and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. Next topic is Britain's Got Talent. Frankie.
Yeah, I actually watched this series of Britain's Got Talent, or as I think it should be renamed, How Bored Are Britain's Women and Homosexuals? Susan Boyle to me looks like Gordon Brown playing Mrs. Doubtfire. She was on Oprah Winfrey in America and they subtitled her. And people in West Lothian, where she's from, were absolutely horrified, as many of them can't read. She says that she's never been kissed, and on that evidence alone, Scotland's alcohol problems are not as bad as first thought.
OK, let's see what Russell's been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is human behaviour.
Some things you can't help doing. Do you find this? Like, if you get a cold can of Diet Coke, it's not enough for you to go, that is freezing. You have to find somebody you love and put it on their face. You don't do that with any other food. This soup's boiling in your eyes, but for some reason you become a fizzy torture. All right, Mum, Fanta to the knee! We're all fairly peculiar. Sometimes you think weird thoughts. I was in Tesco the other day. I was offered a bag for life, and I found myself going, I can't commit to that. You know? I don't know what bags are going to be like in the future. I feel like a tool if I got a plastic one in 2024. People go, I've got a new bag, it packs itself and speaks Spanish. Piece of shit! What can you do? I can suffocate a child. That's all you're good for. He can speak Spanish, I can hurt your hands on long journeys.
Well done, Russell. Points there go to Andy and Russell. OK, the next subject, please. Let's spin the wheel. Next subject is science. Who wants to come in that? Chris Harrison.
I'll tell you the problem with science, right? The problem with science is it refuses to speak the language of those of us who don't understand science, right? Even when it's the job of science to be talking to us numpties, it can't bring itself to speak as we do. Pick up a packet of paracetamol, right? Look at the instructions on the back of that. It says, for the treatment of neuralgia, fibrositis, muscular whatever. We don't talk like that. If that talked anything like us, that would say, for the treatment of the worst headache I've ever had in my life. A pain in my side, I'm sure actually is cancer this time. My wife's had to help me out of the car. It's coming out of both ends like someone's hit a pan of chocolat with a mallet. That is how we talk, right? But it doesn't, we can't tell what's actually science and what is some hokey nonsense dressed up as science to, entice us in. That's why cosmetics companies, whenever they bring out a new thickness of goop, right, they give it a kind of sciencey name so we'll be all dazzled. Nivea DN Age. OF off. Right? Avon's new cream is called a Nugenics. What? A Nugenics, right? That's been through marketing, that's been through focus groups, design. Did nobody at any point go, a Nugenics? You don't think that sounds a bit Third Reichy, maybe? What next? New pro-genocide, now with anti-Semitox. Sandra, can I borrow your ethnic cleanser?
Reverend Chris Hansen. And that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is the USA.
So I've just come back from America, apparently. While I was there, I saw one of those very, 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 very large Americans. He said he fitted kitchens. I said, I bet you don't. I went up to this girl, I said, what's your name? She said, Chantal. I said, well, if you're not going to tell me your name... I said, what do you do for a living? She said, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. I said, I hope you're not a travel agent. When I was in America, I bought tickets for the Bears versus the Cowboys. Bit of a disappointment. I want to see Bears versus Cowboys. And then I bought tickets for the Giants versus the Jets. Another missed opportunity. Then I bought tickets for the Packers versus the Dolphins. Get in the box, get in the box.
Thank you very much. Points for everyone there. Let's all sit back. Come on. Unlikely personal ads.
I could be the man of your dreams if you dream of a man who exposes himself to people on trains.
I'm a cat person. I sleep all day and I bury my poo in the garden.
For sex with no strings attached, don't shag a puppet.
Katie Price seeks new husband. Position temporary. Usual terms and conditions apply.
Looking for love in all the wrong places. Well, you wanted to be a priest.
Ugly fat bloke. Looking for a supermodel with a sense of humour.
Man prone to violent mood swings seeks lovely woman to go screw yourself. I love you!
Female, 22, 33, 52. One of them's my age. Are you feeling lucky, punk?
Agoraphobic, seeks claustrophobic, the doorstep encounters.
I am Ponus of the planet Testiclon 8. I seek a human female to take my seed. Make better world for both our planets. Dave, Croydon, box 415.
Pessimistic man seeks depressed old lady so as we can have some really shit times together.
Gorgeous, 5'11", black woman, amazing body, great rack. I just thought I'd put it out there.
I'm a George Clooney lookalike who's looking for a woman with visual impairment.
Do you like swinging? Meet me down by the swings.
I'm looking for a dominant woman. Tell me to call you.
Do you like dogs? Good, because I'm small, hairy, and hung like a border terrier.
Sophisticated, erudite man with fin de siècle tastes. 6 women with massive norks.
Man with massive cock. 6 women with large hen to discuss poultry farms.
At the end of that round, points go to Ed, Ava and Andy. The next round is called Between the Lines. Rory and Hugh, can you make your way to the Mock the Week press pit? In this round, one player takes the role of a person in the news giving a press conference, while the other says what they really mean. Rory, you're England football manager Sven-Göran Eriksson, talking about recent events.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, ladies.
I've just had a meeting with the chief executive of the FA.
Well, he said he was from the FA.
We reached a very amicable settlement.
I'm rich!
When I took on this job, I knew exactly how much it involved.
$4.5 million a year.
We'll do well in the World Cup. We've got an excellent squad.
Peter Crouch is world class.
I would like to reassure you that my mind is very much on the job.
Nice tits.
Here's a picture of Shadow Chancellor Ed Balls, but can anyone give me a phrase to sum this up?
Well, obviously good to see that Wayne Rooney is back to fitness.
Is he thinking to himself? Is he just thinking to himself, why, when my name is Balls, do I keep having photographs like these?
Is Mr. Ed Balls playing football in a match between MPs and journalists at the conference? Apart from playing football, what has Ed Balls been doing recently?
He's a politician.
He's been...
Other than that...
He has been sickening normal people everywhere by learning to play the piano.
Yes,
Did you
to
see
what
that?
level?
Grade 1.
Grade 1, yes.
And the grade 1 is recognising that that's not a piano.
This is a trick test. That's not a piano. You have passed.
I reckon he just heard mention of chopsticks and thought there might be some food available.
If he does learn chopsticks, that'll be handy for when he's Chancellor and has to beg money off the Chinese.
You really believe you go into the Chinese and go, honourable Chinese person. Cling, 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 cling,
They will go, you took an interest in our culture.
Ding, 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 ding. That's as much as I know. Okay.
Darren, do you not think he would have lost them with honourable Chinese person? Opening with that.
I'm not in the diplomatic corps. What do you say?
It'd be like arriving in the Congo on a diplomatic mission with a crate of umbongo. I believe you enjoy this beverage.
We're told this is all you drink here in the Congo, which has been renamed for how long?
Well, it's now called the Democratic Republic of Umbongo.
By the way, who's he doing the test with?
Lots of 5-year-old and 6-year-old children.
It was 6-year-old children. It was 6-year-old child, 6-year-old child, Ed Balls, 6-year-old child, 6-year-old child.
Which is even as a 6-year-old child, you'd be thinking, you've been told, as you wait in that room, if you fail this, you're coming back again. And then a 45-year-old man, even as a 6-year-old, you're thinking, oh my God, this guy is an idiot.
they take this shit seriously. Please let me go. Please don't make me do the exam again.
I do, in a way, think it's commendable that he's done it and it's good for him to have a release, but I also think it's a really bad thing for a busy politician to do in a sort of connecting with the people way, because people that have got normal jobs are then going, well, I haven't got time to learn the fucking piano. How have you got time? Well, he should really do what Cameron does and just get pissed and lose his kids and stuff like that. And then people are like, oh yeah, he's one of mine.
The question I was looking for is, what are some of the items that are exempt from the new 5p charge for plastic carrier bags? The government introduced the charge throughout England on Monday to reduce litter and protect the environment.
Like, you're paying 5p for a bag, you can get a trolley for £1, can't you?
The reaction has been fairly up. This is the front page of the Daily Mail. Plastic bags, chaos looms. Because you got to pay 5p. This is a thing that was introduced in Scotland, in Wales, in Northern Ireland, in the Republic of Ireland. It's been there for 10 years.
Yes, but be honest, Dara. You and I moved here when it was brought in the Republic of Ireland because of the Armageddon that it
created.
Ireland was laid waste. People fought over bags, put them over each other's heads, choked
awful.
people. It was horrible.
It was brother against brother. It was father against mother. It was carnage in Ireland over the bags. What? What a bag! How it was screaming.
Armageddon.
5p a bag, though, that's good, isn't it? I've got loads of plastic bags under my sink. I'm going to start selling them outside Asda for 4p.
Yeah, people are opening that drawer and going, I'm a millionaire!
It might turn into an insult, though, mightn't it? 5p bag. You just go, yeah, your mum's a 5p bag, mate.
If you was in a massive Tesco and you got yourself a bit of Cherokee gear, you could... did you not buy Cherokee from Tesco?
What's Cherokee?
It's their brand of clothes in Tesco. I'm not in my world, am I? It's my first suit from Asda. 20 quid. I nearly caught fire walking down the road. Just static, threw it in the air. Caught on the ceiling.
No one else will only wear Cherokee.
If you buy clothes in the supermarkets, will you get a nice bag? Or?
I'm sorry, I'm more intrigued that the Tesco clothing range is called Cherokee.
Something like that. I might be saying it wrong because I said, what did I say wrong the other day? Those Mikados.
Mikado.
I say
why are you looking at me like we live together?
What did I say wrong the other day, love? What was it?
I did the opposite of that with your mispronunciation. I accidentally called Wagamamas Wagamamas. That's the poshest thing I've ever done in my life. Wagamamas.
Wagamamas. I prefer Wagapapas, but Wagamamas will do it.
When we were underage and trying to get served in pubs, you know, Bombardier, the ale Bombardier, one of my friends panicked and said, can I have a pint of Bombardier, please?
Yes, the question I was looking for was, how much is the government planning to cut from the benefits budget? This is the news that at the Conservative Party conference in Birmingham this week, Chancellor George Osborne announced that in its drive to reduce the deficit, the government will cut a further £10 billion from the welfare budget by 2017. Where's that going to come from?
Well, just checking, they're not cutting friends with benefits, right?
Still fine. That's still grand. Up to the age of 25.
It's quite difficult for them, isn't it, to know, because you're not allowed to like the people at the bottom end because they're poor and they're not helping themselves, so boo-boo to them. And you're not allowed to like the people at the top end because they're rich and they've got all the money and boo-boo to them. And it's kind of getting squeezed more and more. Eventually, they're just going to put the recovery on one guy called Kevin Williamson of Warwick. It's all just going to be about him. We're really backing you to get this country back on track, Mr. Williamson. Holy shit!
There's a guy at home now in Warwick going, oh, God. I cannot believe this. This is the worst way for it to be broken to me.
I vote you guys. If he's been correctly chosen, he will. They're going. I knew that. I knew it was going to come down to me. I knew all these people, and I'm the only one who can do this. Darling, get my jacket. I'm going to leave the house.
Come on, Euro Millions this weekend.
David Cameron was determined to change the image of the Conservative Party, wasn't he? He wanted to just stop people thinking of them as the nasty party. He's done that now, because they're now thought of as the ruthless bastards party.
I feel sorry for the Tory party, because apparently last week they were all sent a badge saying Britain can deliver, but none of them arrived.
What a cheat that David Cameron wants kids to stay at home until they're aged 25 when he can't even keep his own kid out of the pub aged 8.
I tried living with my parents, but it didn't really work out. Apparently I didn't see the no camping sign amongst the gravestones.
It didn't kill them. They're probably not dead. It's definitely a joke, all right? It is to do with the visitor to London.
Oh, it's the whale. It's the whale.
It's the whale, yes. The actual answer.
I've no sympathy for this whale. It died of dehydration. In a river. They're supposed to be nearly as intelligent as man whales, and this whale died of dehydration.
Well, to be fair, the whale didn't request being removed from the river. The whale probably, if asked, if consulted at any stage about what are the major health problems that you could face while being removed from the river, dehydration, he probably would.
The best thing about this whole whale business is that there's now no need to go to New Zealand. Simply no need. You're 28 hours of connecting flights to look at whales. There's no point. They're in our river.
Do you know one of the reasons I think it swam up the Thames was because the Navy were doing sonic soundings and stuff off Southend, and this apparently confused the whale. Because it sounds like an explosion to us, but to the whale it said diversion, North Sea closed. Delays possible till November.
I was very impressed with the fact that I spoke to a number of people who said, well, it received all the coverage because we in Britain love animals. And you're kind of going, no, I think any country that had a whale swim into the middle of the capital city would have probably gone, a whale, that's a little bit unusual to us. I don't think there's any country in the world that gone, the bloody, like an urban fox or something. The bloody whales are at the bins again.
It was the same week, the whale came up the Thames, the same week as Ben Fogle and, James Cracknell, rowed across the Atlantic. And the whale was probably thinking, look, if they're going to take my territory, I'm going to London and I'm going to present Cash in the Attic.
This week on Cash in the Attic. Well, yes, it was my mother's originally. But we're hoping to raise money for a holiday in Australia.
It was weird that they were thinking. One of the plans was to use whale song to lure the whale back out to sea. But we don't know what a whale song means. We have no idea.
Anything by Dido will do.
Yeah, exactly.
As an emergency measure, they could have slowly moved Enya up the river from Kingston, playing her
I think we should
music,
do that anyway.
driving the whale.
Let's do that anyway as a memorial to the whale's memory, Dara. Or let's make a memorial for the whale by putting it in the EastEnders title sequence.
Is it not very selective as well that they gave the whale a name? That it was called Wally or Whaley?
What was the mistake with the names?
Well, because you give a whale a name, but you don't. When a dingo has eaten some children in Australia, you don't say.
Well, you don't.
Davy the dingo.
Well, you generally give the name to anthropomorphise, to see that it reflects some great human qualities like bravery or
getting
whatever,
lost.
But eating small children isn't really the kind of thing you want to have. Oh, little Teddy the dingo, you're all full up now, aren't you?
Exactly.
The Sunday Times, helpfully, ran a map of the whale's route, which we can show here. That's the whale, which is, you know, the river, basically. Just in case you're going, no, if I was going to Battersea from East London, I wouldn't have gone that way. After the whale sadly died, some criticised the rescue operation. Let's face it, a whale needs to be winched onto the barge like it needs a hole in the head. I thought that was sweet, that particular one. To be fair, the whale only received the same treatment as any NHS patient, dying on the trolley 36 hours after first being seen. The next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topic in a minute and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Is this a picture of what Donald Trump refers to as patient zero?
Worst Stevie Wonder tribute ever.
Peter Stringfellow emerges from another cracking night at Angels.
Hands up if you made a bracelet out of some spare handbag chain.
By the reflection in her glasses, she appears to be looking at a tornado of some sort as well.
She's trying to prove she's not an ageing candidate, but she's left her napkin tucked in from dinner.
That soup gets everywhere, doesn't it?
Because people have been saying she's using a body double, haven't they? And I think, well, it's nice to see Judy Finnegan back in work.
I think the answer you're after...
Yes, Hugh, what is that?
That is Hillary Clinton.
Thank you very much, Hugh.
Yes. She's mocking Donald Trump with her normal-sized fingers.
Yes.
Look at these.
Yes, this is a picture of US Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton in New York, where she was taken ill this week after being diagnosed with pneumonia. Is this like a huge bump in the road for her?
Well, yes, because people say, oh no, she's got a cough. Let's elect a racist instead.
Because he's done many things, but he hasn't coughed recently.
Yeah, I just this idea. Even if she's dying, even if she's dead, we're better off electing her. I have pulled stuff out of my shower drain that would be a better president than Donald Trump and would look better on his stupid head.
I think it's very shrewd of her to get a disease that Trump supporters definitely can't spell.
He's furiously looking to N in the medical dictionary. Maybe there's a K in front of it.
Trump's got to be careful, like, you know, just keep going on about her health all the time. Look at him, right? If a heart attack was a person, it would look like Donald Trump.
But that's the problem, because you've got older candidates. I think she's 68, he's 70. Not like in England, obviously. Cameron can get in. He can rip the country in half for the sake of a power play, and boom, he's back on the after-dinner circuit before he hits 50. Nice.
What are the claims that have been made about Hillary's health?
That they're using a body double.
Yes, exactly. She's using a body. She's 2 weeks,
that it's not actually Hillary. And I think, well, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that she's got someone else to do the difficult jobs for her, would it? Monica Lewinsky. Yeah.
Thank you for the clarity, brother.
So I'll just spell that out.
Yes, various claims, you know, because God love us, it turns out the internet is full of people who have these theories. She's had several strokes, apparently, and suffered some seizures, that she wears adult diapers. The National Enquirer claims she'd be dead in 6 months last September. A Republican congressman said she had special needs and was mentally impaired. Forensic pathologists suggested she was being poisoned and that she has multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, HIV, vascular dementia and lupus. These are all claims made about her.
All that taken into account, she's looking fucking amazing.
She is.
Donald Trump looks like he's using a body double, and it's inside of him trying to get out.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely lines from a thriller.
Michael, Peter, David, Vladimir, I think we may have a spy in the organisation.
Give me the pentagon, then the triangle, and then the square.
Pussy galore, Bond here. I've been told by my doctor that I need to contact all previous partners.
The owner of this motel dresses up as his mother and stabs people. But the guidebook says it's still better than the Ibis.
I want you to go to Warsaw, meet a man called Borislav. You'll then ask him why he didn't fix my plumbing before he left the home.
Miss Scarlett looked at him through the window. He had one massive testicle like a space hopper. That was why they called him Professor Plum.
This is no ordinary pen, Bond. Turn it upside down, the woman's clothes drop off and you can see her face.
Red or green, which do I cut? Come on, they're only peppers. How long is this salad going to take?
We need to find the third man. There's no way Amanda Holden will shag just two of us.
Here's Simon.
The Orient Express has been cancelled. However, there was a murder on the temporary Orient replacement bus.
I have amnesia. The tattoos on my body will tell me what happened. Dara was here.
I'd been a serial killer for 4 years, but they'd never given me a nickname. Then, you bite one guy in the ass, and suddenly you're the butt muncher.
Ah, the butt muncher's got me! The butt muncher's got me!
OK, the next topic is bad things to say at a wedding.
I do. Don't worry, the vows are simple. Just repeat after me. Eeny, meeny, macaracka, rare, ride, dominacca, chicka-bocka, lollipop, rom, pom, push.
And we will now sing hymn number 225. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
When John went down on one knee, I wish I'd known that he was having a stroke.
I'd like to thank Elsie for the flowers. It was her funeral I nicked them from.
So your best man's in an absolute state. That's my mum.
Now, it's my job to tell some amusing stories about Gavin. So, first of all, for a kick-off, he's a hermaphrodite.
My bride always wears white. Isn't that right, Dolly? Bah!
Now, Carol's family have always had their doubts about me. So, first of all, let me explain why I'm naked.
This is my first gay wedding, so you must be the pretty one.
To my new son-in-law, I would say this. You have released me. This monster is yours now.
I would like to apologise for the state of my clothes and the smell of sick only I spent last night in a skip. Anyway, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today.
People have said to me, why have you stopped being a bachelor after so long? And I say, well, look at her. She's wealthy and she's dying.
It wouldn't be a traditional Norfolk wedding without a speech from the father of the bride and groom.
The end of that round. The points go to Frankie, Hugh and Stuart. Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. Happy Christmas and welcome to a special festive edition of Mock the Week. We'll be talking about the holidays as well as looking back at some of our favourite moments from the last series, along with bonus bits we've never shown before. Hope you enjoyed them. We start with a round called This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Fred, which category would you like?
World news, please, Dara.
OK, your category is world news. The answer is 1/5. What's the question?
Is this what fraction of the Jackson 5 might miss the Christmas party?
Is it how much of the weekend can Andrew Flintoff remember?
Is it how much of French and Saunders is Saunders?
Is it what proportion of Enid Blyton's The Famous Five can lick their own testicles?
Is it England's only dwarf king was called Henry the what?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, boss?
Is it how does Jamie Oliver pronounce one fish?
Is it how much of Wikipedia is true?
I'll tell you, on that, actually, I won't mention that on telly.
What does it say about you?
Go on, what does it say about you?
No, go on.
It says, somebody's written, I was once kicked out of a zoo for punching a monkey, and then somebody underneath has put correction, he spanked the monkey.
That's hard.
I didn't do either.
In my bit on a trivia about me, it says, I once aided the RSPCA in saving a goose from a tile shop. I don't remember the event. It's incredibly specific.
What's the point of Wikipedia if people just write it themselves? I think every Wikipedia entry should have to start with I reckon. Probably.
Yeah.
Do you know
On
what?
the balance
Somebody
of
else. I've just remembered another. This is a creepy thing that somebody put on my Wikipedia. They said of me, he looks like the kind of straight bloke that would be quite good at gay sex. I'll be honest, when I read that, I did go get in. But he went on to say, but he looks like he'd cry afterwards. So there's part of me now that wants to find a gay man to test the theory. So if there's any out there, bring it.
I suspect there will be a few out there.
Yeah.
Probably about 1/5.
There you go.
What honour was the actor Nicolas Cage given this year?
Oh, Nicolas Cage, right? He's actually going to be able to turn the Christmas lights on in Bath.
This, by the way, aren't the lights in Bath. This is...
Apparently, what happened
Those
was...
are the lights in Dundee.
Somebody actually put a note through his door. He's got a house in Bath, and he's agreed to turn on the lights. I put a note through Cheryl Cole's door, and apparently that's a matter for the police.
Do you know what's really weird about this story?
Not only is it incredible that they've got Nicolas Cage to do it, but also there must have been an incredibly uneasy phone call to Barry Chuckle. Sorry, Barry, Nicolas Cage is doing it. Maybe they gave him a part in an action movie where he knocks out Vin Diesel by turning around quickly with a plank.
Do you know what's really awkward about this story? This is genuinely true. Until last week, I was doing it.
Really?
I was there. And then from nowhere, Cage has just jumped. It's funny, all my relatives like, do you want us to sort him out? No, I don't want you to sort him out. Because we'll go around there and mess him up. Don't mess him up.
Because you were originally up for the part in Face Off as well, weren't you?
And what's really funny about it is the lady that posted the letter through the door is the exact lady that went, oh, we'd love you to do it. You'd be great. And then I read in the paper without even telling me, the big Nicholas, you bitch.
About 10 years ago, I switched on the Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Wow!
And because I've been rude.
There are Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Yeah.
Were you asked to do this?
Yeah, because
He's been again! We had Bruce Bruce Willis!
You've been rude about Kidderminster on television. Got a letter from the Kidderminster Tourist Board
Yeah.
or whatever saying, would you come and switch on the Christmas lights? So you think, oh, that'd be great, I'd love to do that. But you don't actually do it. Because what they do is they give you one of those enormous pretend switches, right? And you have to kind of go like this on a balcony to a crowd below, and you kind of go, I'm going to press the thing now. And you press it, and as you press it, a bloke in a room behind turns on a switch. So you're not doing it.
So hang on a minute, so that bloke's going to be me. I'm going to be the
Yeah.
So you were asked to do it because you were rude about
Because I was
Kidderminster.
rude about Kidderminster. I also did a joke once about Wolverhampton and got invited on a tour of Wolverhampton.
I'm thinking bigger than that. If I slag off Jessica Alba, do I get a tour of Jessica Alba?
Well, apparently Bristol wanted to have Bruce Willis switching on their lights, but then they remembered that he tends to get into a lot of trouble around Christmas time.
Our next round is called Newsreel. We play in a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask Hugh to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features Gordon Brown.
Hello, happy Christmas, everybody. Just making sure everything's ready for the event tonight. Where am I sitting? That's it. Just here. No decorations, I see. That's good. I'm Scottish. I don't do joy. So, sitting in the middle here. That's right. Right next to the President of the United States. He's specially requested he sit next to me. So, when Obama comes in, if you could just make sure that he sits in that chair. Super glue him if you have to. That's good. What the hell is going on? I was meant to be sitting next to President Obama. I come in, somebody switched all the nameplates around, and now he's sitting next to that great fat Scottish guy with a hairy arse. It's completely unbelievable. Testing. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. What? Anybody know what number comes next? No. One of the economies in shite. So.
So, what would you like from the menu?
I have 1,000 burritos, 3,000 nachos, and a pint of Tamiflu, please. Thank you. So, let's get on with the main event. Let's get on with the first round of this, the annual G20 Leaders Christmas Quiz. Question set by Great Britain. In front of you, you should find a picture round and an anagram round. But to get things going, we'll do world news. So, on Boxing Day 1994, who did Raith Rovers beat? 3 goals to 2 at Starks Park. So, 3 goals to 2, Starks Park. Nice. Easy one to start them off there. In the meantime, I think I'll just have a quick look round, see if anybody's written any more interesting speeches than I have. I should think practically everybody. So, that's unbelievable. I just get off my piss. And Gordon Barney's nicked my bloody seat again. I don't know what's going on. Good news. I've just told Manchester City to bid 300 million for Bobby Charlton. Yes, Mr. Putin, he did what? They voted for Norway in Eurovision. Leave it with me. Kill him.
Hey, Obama, when you come to Australia, don't think you're going to play with my didgeridoo.
So, go on, Brian. Tell him the joke. Go on, he would love to hear the joke. He loves jokes. Okay, Obama, come here. Yes, you're lovely. I got this from a Christmas cracker. What happens when you eat Christmas decorations? Huh? You get tinselitis.
I don't believe it. He nicked my bloody chair. I was sitting there, he just come on, he nicked my bloody chair. It's unbelievable.
So that's the first round done. Now to the second round. This should be slightly easier. Economic news. Which Scotsman was single-handedly responsible for saving the world economic system? So, which Scotsman saved the world economic? Nice, easy question there. I think we'll get full marks for that one. Nice. Incidentally, Barack, I don't know what you're doing at Christmas, but you're quite welcome to join us at Oxford Boxley. We'll be doing cigars, drinking lots of whiskey, and best of all, I'll be there. So.
Oh my God, I'm so tired. I think I left Carla chained to the bed. I have to go and get her.
What am I doing in this footage?
So, Gordon Brown, what a great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy. That's my bit done. Could you get me out of here? Gordon is so dull. It says on this bit of paper I'm meant to be sitting next to an Indonesian guy. What happened to him? So that's the end of round 2. Now we come on to the famous picture round. In front of you, you'll find pictures of 8 Scottish Episcopalian cathedrals. I'd like you to put those in the correct geographical order, north to south. In the meantime, I'm going to go through the rounds, the scores of the previous rounds, and some very funny team names you've come up with, of course. Putin's Polonium, currently on 2 points. Sarkozy, so easy, on 5. Nicolas Dobley likes to score more than that. Leading at the moment with 10, Great Britain and their team, Gordon must go. But to leave you, I'm going to tell you a Christmas joke. Why did Santa have to close his toy factory? Elf and safety. That's it. Oh, God.
So, what are you doing for the Christmas?
I remember years ago getting up really early Christmas morning, running downstairs, ripping open one of my presents, but unfortunately it was a puppy. That's not true. It was a kitten. That's not true. It was an old man. I remember all I wanted for Christmas was an action man. What I got was a plastic doll with a cord on the back, and you pulled it when 25, 25, 25, 30, 35, 35, 35, 40. Looked at the packet. Auction man. I don't know about you, I often feel like Joseph at the inn in Bethlehem, holding a crib of straw and saying, no, I wanted to see the manager. I think the most peaceful Christmas I remember, the manger. I think the most peaceful Christmas I remember was when my mother mistakenly covered the cake with temazepam.
The Christmas quiz! See? People now come especially for the Christmas quiz to look at our fabulous decorations. Like that page.
He's got
this
shit for
page, which I think is actually sort of sweet. And then for no particular reason, a squirrel with tinsel on him, which is not in any way a festive
Donald
animal.
Trump's hair at the back.
And then this, a genuine, you can purchase this, which is a glistening owl with antlers on. You know, you can just cost like £4.50 or something in a shop.
Is this your audition for QVC?
Anyway, so that's, you know, hey. Okay, here's the Christmas quiz, right? In which there'll be quizzes and questions. What makes the traditional British Christmas dinner unique?
Turkey, sprouts.
No. What is it about it that actually...
Racism.
No, not unique, it's an achievement. Not racism.
You can't say that for every question, Nick.
So what makes a British Christmas dinner outstanding?
Why did you ask it again without mumbling?
I'm sorry, my face is full of your shitty lemon meringue pie.
It is quite tart. It will.
Oh, it didn't fall apart. Bravo. Okay, why is the British Christmas dinner outstanding?
Is it considered the unhealthiest or something?
Very close. Yeah, it is
the most fatty.
It is the unhealthiest in Europe. A typical Christmas dinner in this country contains 3,289 calories, 70 grams of fat, 210 grams of carbohydrates. The second most calorific Christmas dinner in the world.
Who's the most calorific?
Take a wild fucking guess.
Oh, put him down, Camilla. I'm sorry she's insatiable. Anyway, I meant to give you this. I don't know why. I don't care.
Oh, look at this. This is lovely. Looks like a lovely Christmas present. Goodness, my voice is even lower than normal. I wonder if they have any strepsils. By the way, I have already paid for this. I'm not walking off with it.
Oh, for goodness sake, Camilla, put them down. It's a compulsion. We haven't got any money.
Oh, no, please, if you could just pop them in the bag. Very good. Thank you so much. Lovely, thank you.
Just a quick word in your shell light, Your Royal Highness. That is, in fact, the fourth carrier bag your wife has filled with Christmas goodies. So far, she hasn't paid us for any of them. It's a charity event.
Well, don't worry, I'll just write you a pretend IOU. I normally prefer to play the way I handle my relationship with my mother. Contactless. You take your hat off and you bow. That's what you do. Hat off, bow. It may be Christmas, but I'm still the Prince of Wales. Yes.
Oh, look at these. This is lovely. Would you give me a small furry aviator? Could I have one, please? No. Miserable wanker.
hello, Camilla. We got all the goods you asked us to obtain for you.
That's lovely. Are they all here? Oh, what a lovely puppy. Could I have the puppy? Look at these dogs. What lovely dogs. Could I have the dogs?
Well done, you did it! What do you want for Christmas this year?
I don't know. I don't want anything for Christmas.
Hand drop off an elf.
Guess what the number one gift party for kids this year?
Nerf guns.
The Nerf gun is 64 quid. You could go to America and buy a gun for less than that.
Actually, it's like it's a ludicrously scary thing, the Nerf gun. This is the current...
Hey, don't point that there. Hey, point that over somewhere else.
Thomas, I'll do really, really careful. I wouldn't dream of doing that to you. Of all the people here, you were the last person that I would fire the... Boom! Hang on. Oh, yeah, there's three things you can do, right? You can do this big one here. Right.
Listen, Nerf is how I did this to my eyes. So I'm just saying. I'm just warning you.
Okay, cool. I'll get him instead. Right, okay, Grant. Are we okay to sacrifice you for this? And then you can do these.
I guess so.
I bet you could catch one
fairly
in your
certain
teeth,
there's an instruction manual that says do not aim at people's faces.
Yeah,
Please remember that I am a special man with special powers and do not try this at home.
How far will it get? How far do you think it'll get?
I don't know, but if he hits any of you, sue the shit out of you. All that money they're saving on Bake Off now can go to you.
Can you get to the back? I mean, because this is... I feel it can be unnecessarily powerful, this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's decide
Yes, I certainly feel that.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, nah. Good catch. Well done. Respect. That is, I'm estimating 7 gardens away.
So you asked, what do you want for Christmas? So you could then shoot us.
He's still got the up with me, James, because he got heckled in Derby because they wouldn't shake his hands. I always shake people's hands after the show, and in Derby, I was there the week before and shook everyone's hand, and then someone walked out of his show and went, at least Rob Beckett shook our hand.
That actually happened. Can you believe it? He shakes people's hands on the way out the door like a little kiss ass. Afterwards. Here's what most of us do, right? We do our stand-up and then we go, that'll be enough. And we go back, because that's our job. And Rob goes, no, please light me at the door. It's pathetic.
I'm just thankful they came, James. And to be fair, like, you know, it's only 4 people you've got to shake. So you should...
Listen, here's what's annoying about it, right? I got heckled with this thing. Well, Rob Beckett shook our hands.
What else did they say? What else did they, James? What else did they say?
And he had proper jokes. So then I was like, right, for a joke then at the end, I said good night, and then I legged it downstairs to the door, and I shook all their hands on the way. I was like, 4 of them, but like shaking all of their hands. And when the last one went out, and it was clearly a joke that I was doing to make fun of Rob, and the last one went out, and the venue manager came up to me and went, thanks for doing that, it really means a lot to him, and people take the time to shake their hands. I was like, that was a joke! I'm not Rob Beckett.
Yeah, but the thing is, let's be honest, I didn't have many other options open to me career-wise, so I'm just very thankful they turn up. Genuinely, because without them, I would probably be on the street.
Yeah. At the end of my shows, I'd say, I've been James Acaster, and I could have been anything. And I walk
Why would you want to be given clothes as a Christmas present in Iceland?
Because it's really cold.
It's freezing there.
It's a land of ice, Dara!
Is it because you can take them back and get the money back in exchange for the clothes?
No, it's not that perfectly practical good reason to get clothes.
Yeah, because clothes is just a good present wherever you are.
Oh, God, yes, I know. OK, the question...
Because people don't have clothes.
Are you getting exasperated at us, trying to think of humorous answers to ridiculous questions that you're posing? Should we just try our hardest to come up with the correct answer? Would that slightly miss the point of a comedy quiz?
No. Is it because normally they sell frozen food?
The reason you should be given clothes as a Christmas present is to stop you getting eaten by the Yule cat. Yule Kuterin.
why you didn't get the QI presenting job? There's got to be one show you don't present, hasn't
There
there?
has to be, yeah. Potentially, yeah. What might you expect to eat at Christmas in Japan?
Food.
Yes.
Sushi.
No.
Sashimi.
No. Don't just name all Japanese things you can think of.
Wagamamas.
Not... A bucket of...
Eels.
No.
Turkey.
That's not a clue.
It's a really good clue. A bucket
Fried chicken.
Of fried chicken.
Is it fried chicken?
It's fried chicken, Nish. Not just any fried chicken.
Kentucky fried chicken.
Kentucky fried chicken. Since 1974, KFC has marketed itself in Japan as a Christmas food.
Oh, very clever.
With the advertising phrase, Kentucky for Christmas. That's... Look.
I beg your pardon.
Kentucky for Christmas. A lot of things to hear at Christmas.
Oh, John, thank you so much for my electric toothbrush. No, it's everything I wanted and more. Oh, you got lots of nectar points on it. Good.
Do the fork and take a pew. This might run for a while.
Oh, Sarah, a holiday to Barbados? That's going to help in the fight against plaque.
It's Christmas. Today.
Are you sure?
The shops have kept that very quiet. Oh, look, everyone's eating all the nuts I've bought. I should buy some more. Leg or breast? I'd really rather you just put your clothes back on, Greg.
I'd just like to reassure everyone that the sponsorship deal will have no effect on this year's nativity. Now, Joseph, if you could just pop Jesus in the Pret a Manger.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Christmas with a vegan.
This is your Christmas and birthday present. Yes, it is a turkey with 16 candles stuck in it.
We always have a goose here at Christmas. I don't know why, really. Its conversation's terrible and it shits all over the floor.
The first subject is rejected exam questions.
History. Did I delete it?
If cycling 10 miles a day uses up 400 calories, explain why Boris Johnson is still a fat bastard.
If the sun is 93 million miles away, how can that cost £32 in an Uber?
Where is Greece? Is it A, the southern Mediterranean, or B, up shit creek?
What does the French phrase déjà vu literally translate as?
Using examples of Michelangelo's work, write 500 words on why he was the best turtle.
What does the French phrase déjà vu literally translate as?
Question A. Media studies. Is it a real subject? Question B. Is it...
Using a compass and ruler, draw perfect cock and balls.
Is this a rhetorical question?
You may now commence your anal sex exam. Please turn over.
Explain how UKIP became a major force in British politics without using the word wanker.
If Jay-Z is unfortunate enough to have a problem with a bitch, how many problems does Jay-Z now have?
Aggravated violence, question 1. Why might you use a bit of rubber hosepipe? No marks.
What colour is this dress? White and gold or black and blue? Discuss.
If a train leaves the station at the correct time and arrives at its destination at the correct time, how cool would that be?
Chemistry, me, you. Is there any?
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things to say when running for US president.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and if you elect me the first female president of the United States, I promise you that on my first day in the White House, I will hire a very attractive male intern. He will be on his knees, not having sexual relations with me all day. Hashtag payback, hashtag long game.
I want to go to Washington. Why? I want to see what color the White House is.
No, we can't!
The name Clinton is in the DNA of the White House. In fact, the DNA of Clinton are on the walls of the White House.
I know the value of family because I sold one of my children to pay for this campaign.
As president, I will welcome immigrants, because the White House is massive and it's not going to clean itself.
I will govern for all of this country, not just the metropolitan cities on the coast, but also you cousin shaggers down south.
I would like to introduce you to my new Homeland Security advisor. Say hi, Lamb Chop.
Hi. Come on, of course I'm the guy to succeed Obama. You know what they say? Once you go black.
If you elect me America's first colourblind president, I will do everything I can to uphold the values of the brown, white and green.
I would now like to talk to you people in a language of my own devising.
I want to put more boots on the ground in Afghanistan, and also 2 more branches of Paper Chase.
What you must remember is the people we need to convince are the great American people. And most of them are as thick as pig shit.
I'd like to apologise for Mr. Trump, which is what I say when I've just farted in bed.
When I was little, I did not plan to be President of the United States. This is more like a holding job until I get to rule a good country.
I am American through and through. Cut me, and I will shoot you in the face.
I wish to have no secrets in this campaign. I wish to be completely open, and it is done. That is why. I'm going to start that again, because I fucked that up.
We Republicans want to reach out to all Americans. Blacks, whites, Chinese-y-looking ones.
I want to have no secrets in this campaign, and that is why I have gathered you here tonight to tell you I shot Gay JFK.
Okay, getting that round the point to Ed, Sarah and Andy. That leaves us with Mickey. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is food. Oh, here you go.
Now, this is one of my favourite topics because I actually hate restaurants. And my wife loves restaurants. She's middle class. She's been skiing and everything. And she loves a restaurant. She says, can we go to a restaurant at the weekend? And I say, yes, we can. And we're barely there 2 minutes, and she's like, isn't it a lovely ambiance? And I say to her, I don't know what you're talking about. I've worked out what an ambiance is. It's a night out about poor people, isn't it, basically? It's people with a few quid to say, can we just have one night out about the poor people turning up? You know what they're like, they'll be banging spoons together, singing Mailman's a Dustman, creating an atmosphere. We want an ambiance. So we try and enjoy the ambiance. But something's happened spoiling it for me. There's no tomato sauce on the table. Creating the situation when my wife looked at me, she said, you're going to ask for tomato sauce, aren't you? I said, yes, I am. Because I'm going to have the risotto. You can't eat risotto without red sauce, it's too dry. It's a health and safety issue. You've got to zhuzh it up with a bit of red sauce. Right? So I thought, I'm not having it. I said to the waitress, excuse me, do you have any ketchup in the building? She's looked at me like I'm the worst pleb God has ever put breath in. She went off to the kitchen and I saw her making her way back with a pot about that big, about 2 chipfuls of tomato sauce. I thought, oh, here we go. She's tried to put it down and walk away like she's doing a drug deal or something. And I stopped her. I said, hold on, love, don't rush off. And I took a sip of it. And I looked at her, I said, Jess, I'll have a bottle, please. And there they are, Scotland through to the final 16. Dear Babe Station, have you actually read the trade's description? A few years ago, my wife and I had a baby. Well, we didn't have it straight away. We had to cook it up for a little while. And so she suggested we go to these classes run by the National Childbirth Trust in our local area. They're very middle-class antenatal classes. They're run by this fascist breastfeeding woman. Who's basically, you can go to her home on a Tuesday night. She's breastfeeding her 9-year-old son during the session. It's not awkward. All the men are checking the coving out. It's come away up there because they should have put glue both sides. No, she's still doing it. What are you going to do? And I think by week 4 she's running out of ideas, so she started on the men. She said, I'm going to ask the men this evening, the men are coming on board. How might they benefit by giving birth to the baby themselves? Can we talk about those benefits? Now, there's 6 of us in a circle. I'm in trap 3, not the best position, the worst one either. Chap number 1's in the best position. He said, if you gave birth to the baby yourself, he said you'd have an empathy with womankind and her struggle over the centuries, creating a great relationship with your partner. I was thinking, oh, cobblers, I was going to use that one. Chap number 2 dug in, fair enough. He said, well, if you gave birth to the baby yourself, he said you'd have a bond with the child at a more primeval, physical level. Started crying. Nice touch. Mother Earth looked at me, I'm having a panic attack. It's all gone a bit hazy. She said, Michael? I said, well, at least you'll be 100% sure it was yours. Mr. Von Trapp, I'm here from the council. We've had complaints about some terrible singing coming from your house. Golden, relax. We're doing a bit of dinner, mate. You're not sorting out the Middle East here.
And the topic is fashion. Okay.
Hey, Mickey. Bound to be, wasn't it? I've returned to the vest. Happened a couple of years ago. I was walking through Marx's to get me pants. You always go back to Marx's. And, they know. They look at you. They go, you come back. And you went the next, didn't you? Got flash. And I saw the vest. I saw the vest, packet of singlet vests. I thought, I'm having them. Put them in my basket. I covered them over like pornography. Got to the counter. I said to the woman, get them in the bag, love, get them in the bag. Got home, I shook one of these vests out. I thought, put it on. I thought, that is the answer. The wife came home. She said, what's all this with the vest? I said, I like them. I'm returned to the vest. She said, I don't mind, but only indoors. So for a couple of years, I've worn the vest, sort of in secret. But the other day, I'd had a couple of cans of beer, and I wanted a couple more, so I got up to go out, and my wife said, the vest. I said, no more. I refuse to live a lie. I'm standing up for vest wearers all over the world. I marched off down the off here. I've got 2 cans of Stella Artois. Put one in my back pocket, cracked the other one open. And I walked back from the off in my vest. I made a discovery. You drink a can of Stella and wear a vest, you get a bit of space. And on Time Team tonight, we're in Stratford-on-Avon, where we've uncovered loads of monkey skeletons and some typewriters. To be honest, I'm not interested in all this old nonsense, really, but since the end of Blackadder, the work's been fairly hard to come by.
The topic is culture.
Yeah, there we go. Look. Thank you. I know you're thinking this man doesn't enjoy culture. Well, you're right, I hate it. Now, I am an intellectual. I know I left school with nothing, but I did go to university later on when I got a degree when I was 29. It was tough speaking up during the lecture, knowing everyone's thinking, blimey, the window cleaner's keen on me. But when I came out, when I got the degree, I thought, that's it, I'll be interested in things now, when it's all going to be fine. So I thought I'll go back to the art galleries again. Went into the art gallery. I don't like art galleries. I'm never quite sure how long you're supposed to look at the pictures for. I should give you a bit of guidance, you know, because I can crack on in a gallery, I really can. 3 or 4 minutes, boss, that's not bad, that's not bad, that's not bad. Just mess that up. I can be over by the door in about 5 minutes. The wife's crying at a Matisse. Come on, love, there's a Wetherspoons round the corner. But the other thing is, you've got to enjoy looking at other cities, apparently. The city break, does it actually exist, the city break? Is it a real thing? Went with the wife to Prague the other week, and she said, after a couple of days, she said, are you enjoying yourself? I said, yeah, I've just paid 15 quid for 2 cups of coffee. But at least we've got that bridge to walk over again. Because I've never done that before. Or maybe we could go to the castle. Thank you very much. Who's the chap in the A team who would not get on the aeroplane? Was it A, B, or B, A? What's the name of that round thing that they throw in the Olympics? Discuss.
And simply, it is fashion.
Now, I'll tell you about fashion. Now, a few years ago, I was looking for a new image. So I started going on stage like this, thinking that'll create an image for me. They'll go, oh, you've seen the geezer, stunning looking, where's his top button done? But I subsequently found out the image this tends to create is you're a wanker. So I looked into the whole issue of it, and I'll tell you the situation with the shirt button, OK? So, because the people don't really thought of like that, they tend to undo their top button. There we go, it's better, isn't it? However, it's not enough, still a bit too high, still a bit of tension in the room. What you really want is one more. Watch. See that? It's palpable, isn't it? Everyone's going, whoa, thank God for that. That is the level of buttonage we require from a man going out for the evening to the all bar one. Very good. However, if I go one more, I'm suddenly back to being an arsehole again. How tough is it being a man knowing that you're going through life only ever one button away from being a wanker or an arsehole?
Very good. Well done all of you. The points there. And go to Simon and Mickey. Come on, let's sit down.
Here, Sarge, pass us the arts section out the Guardian, will you, mate? I was about to arrest her, Sarge, but to be honest, my bottle went because she shouted out, "I put a curse upon you!
Okay. Okay, that leaves us with Andy and John. The next topic, please. The topic is politics. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
So, we've had the Lib Dems announce their immigration plan. What they like to do is they like to put immigrants into places in Britain which don't, at the moment, have many immigrants. Quite what those parts of Britain will feel about that policy. I grew up for quite a long time in Cornwall, and there they regarded anybody who came from Devon as an immigrant. We had one bloke on our street who was known as the Traveller because he'd once been by train up to London. And we have a new president for Europe, a man by the name of Herman Van Rompuy. Now, the Sun can't wait to get a headline going on this one. Rumpy Pumpy, Rumpy Numpty, Humpty Rumpy. They'll go for gold if he gets involved in an affair with a one-legged ugly dwarf. Rumpy Pumpy from Rumpy Numpty with Frumpy Stumpy Grumpy.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Okay, John, let's see what you've been left with. The topic is fitness.
I think as a country we all know that we're not as fit as we used to be. We still sell a lot of sports clothing though. I'm from Liverpool. If you ever go to Liverpool and you look around at the number of people in tracksuits, you'll think you're in an Olympic village. The reality is you've only got to see the size of the tracksuits to know that you're not in an Olympic village. And the problem is when you invest in some sport and clothes, you feel you've got to do something with them. I bought a brand new pair of running shoes, a brand new pair of shoes that I thought I'll have to do something. One of my mates said, "Why don't you join us? A few of us are doing a 10k race." Never run a 10k before, and when you enter, you've got to put an estimated finish time. I didn't know what to put down. I phoned my mate Sam up. I said, "What shall I put down?" He said, "Oh, put 22 minutes." I thought that seems optimistic. I'll put 24 minutes. I sent the form in. I turned up on the day of the 10k race. I turned up with my mates. I was stood there with an orange number. All my mates had blue numbers. The steward came up to me. He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I was thinking of running the race." He said, "No, what are you doing back here with all the blue numbers?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, you're an orange number." I said, "So what?" He said, "Well, if you're an orange number, that means you're an elite athlete." He took me to the front. It was me and 3 Kenyans.
Good man, John. The first subject tonight is what a TV chef would never say.
So that's the bird plucked and stuffed. All that remains is to kill it.
Welcome to One Fat Lady.
And here, what you want to do is put a little bit of the brown mixture in the tin and then sprinkle a little bit of hash on the top of it.
Well, these Korean meatballs really are the dog's bollocks.
you're wondering how to get the perfect skin on your parsnips, then you're mental.
Hello, I'm Delia Smith, and today we're going to cook a panda.
Am I invisible in this fucking jacket?
I think you...
So, I've marinated it for half an hour, seared it for 15 seconds, and now I'm drizzling it on my buttocks.
You just need 2 things to make this dish. What you need is a takeaway menu and a phone.
Tonight on Russian cookery, cyanide, polonium, and a crab stuffed with explosives.
It's not going to be worth it now, is it?
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. Okay, here we go. The first subject is unlikely small ads.
Hello, my name's Ads.
For sale, 1 tent. Please contact the BBC.
Genuine single man looking for a relationship. Call this number. If my wife answers, hang up.
Free to good home. Fucking printer.
Phone to hear my talk about how I became obese. 888-8888.
Rubbish collection services. Yep, we are genuinely shit at it.
I saw you on the tube. You were wearing the pink sweater with your hair pulled back. I had my cock and balls out.
Do you want a hard-working plumber for a reasonable rate? Then you shouldn't have voted for Brexit.
Learn English on Owner Home. Good examplings, quick books, disbelievable price. You buy?
Applications are now open for the Donald Trump School of Talking to Women because those bitches are not going to interrupt themselves.
Wanted, the internet, as I seem to be the only person in the whole bloody world still using the small ads.
Have you lost a ginger cat? Check the top of Donald Trump's head.
Phone to hear my talk about my reaction to eating a South African bishop. 000-00822.
Respectable middle-aged lady would like to meet gentlemen for cosy nights in, country walks, theatre visits, and occasional eye-popping anal.
Okay. The next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a TV cookery show.
Hi, I'm Nigella Lawson, and before I bake any cake, I like to chop my flour into lines.
You can see that's rising nicely. It does that every time I think about how much money Channel 4 are going to pay me.
Hello and welcome to Can't Cook, Won't Cook. Today we won't be making anything. Goodbye.
Coming up next on Saturday Kitchen, whatever we want, because we know you're too hungover to change the channel.
This is a hot pot.
This is a fucking hot pot!
So, if you want to bone a chicken, what you need to do, take it on a couple of dates, and then invite it back, put on some romantic music, and let nature take its course.
There is a bit of a problem on this week's food and drink. I've finished all of it.
This is a Thai chicken curry, or as I like to call it, hot Asian cock.
OK, Sam, let's see what you've brought in your bag of ingredients. It is a pint of wine and a large Malteser.
Right, welcome to Southern Cooking for Northerners. First up, quinoa. What is it and why it can fuck off?
Well, if you're going to pop it in, don't forget to cover it first. I didn't, and that's why I'm making paternity payments.
Hello, I'm Greg Wallace, and this series of MasterChef, we won't be using plates. We'll just be eating off my shiny, shiny head.
Hello, it's Nigella Lawson here again. I'm just going to say the word spatchcock for no reason. Spatchcock.
Anyone can make this. You can't, Beatrice. Sorry, you can't beat rice.
Let's just all go home. Yeah, let's just go home.
Welcome to Great Indian Bake Off. I'm Paul Bollywood.
Hello, I'm Jamie Oliver. Welcome to my new show, Stick a Bit of Fucking Sugar in It.
Okay, at the end of that round, the points go to Nish, Zoe and Josh. Now we play a round called Spinning the News, which involves everybody. So if you could all move over towards the performance area, please. We spin the wheel, and when it stops, anyone can step forward and try to make us laugh about the subject it's landed on. If I judge the player's got a big enough laugh, he or she gets to sit down again. The first team to have all its players sitting down at the desk wins the round. Okay, let's have our first topic. It is, of course, national surveys. Anyone want to try something on that? Good man, Frankie.
They've done a survey in America that says that Osama bin Laden is now more famous than Michael Jackson. And you think, yeah, but he puts a lot less effort into his videos, doesn't he? It really freaked the Americans out if he just doing a wee moonwalk now and again. Hey, more famous than Michael Jackson, but who would you rather have looking after your kids? They did a survey this week that said that 20% of British men have a problem with premature ejaculation. The others just don't think it's really a problem. Sex and on early nights. They brought out a condom for premature ejaculation, and basically it's got an anaesthetic in the lining, so it makes you numb and you can last for longer. Or you can wear it inside out and you don't have to wake anybody up.
Well done, Frankie, you can sit down. Okay, let's spin the wheel again. The next topic is the Trafalgar celebrations. Rory's in.
Yeah, this was this week's naval review of Portsmouth, which is quite embarrassing for the Queen because it just rubs in the fact that she hasn't got a ship. So they line up hundreds of ships and she goes, "Oh, that's a nice one. Well, have you got one in another colour?" Prince Philip loves these things because it gives him a chance to stand on a ship and shout, "Frigate! Look, Philip, mind you, no, frigate, there, frigate, next to that destroyer, right?
Very good, Rory Satan. Come on. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Matt, which category would you like?
World news, please.
OK, world news it is. The answer is petrol, money and drugs. What is the question?
What will the motto be for the Qatar World Cup?
No, just in English. Yes, the question I was looking for is what items are at risk of running out in Greece after Sunday's crucial vote on the EU's bailout terms. This is news as 61% of the Greek population voted against accepting the strict austerity measures proposed by the EU. There's now a real risk that the country will run out of money, fuel and medicine. So what does it all mean for Greece?
It's ridiculous now. The whole thing is just going on. It is like a soap opera. And I don't watch the Eurozone crisis now day to day. I wait till Sunday and I watch the omnibus edition.
This thing of just referring to the Greek exit as Grexit, it just is like, are you in that much of a hurry that you couldn't say a third syllable?
If the British exit happens, it's going to be called Brexit. It sounds like a cheap form of Lego, or what the Greek Prime Minister does every time he meets Angela Merkel.
Let's kick off with a round called Inside the Mind Of. With the G8 conference fast approaching, we clamber inside the mind of the American president. Can anyone tell me what the voices inside George W. Bush's head might be saying?
Are they saying, if you step on the cracks in the pavement, George, we have to invade Syria?
Unlikely film trailers.
Harrison Ford is 73 and he's back in Indiana Jones and the Tricky Patch of Ice outside the post office.
We start with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So what's going on here?
Is it the only couple that Ed Balls would beat on Strictly?
He's saying, please join me, Owen, on my cabinet. I'm so lonely.
I imagine Jeremy Corbyn's just going, I did warn you, Owen. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
He's incredible in that he can gather so many people together in a rally and they sort of see him as a messiah in the same way he will probably be crucified in the next election.
Chancellor George Osborne ahead of the Conservative Party conference this week. A recent survey has put him well ahead of his rivals to succeed David Cameron as the party leader. It's exciting to know that this has already started.
Yeah.
Party leader election, which will take place in 2019. And there's already polls about who's going to be taking over.
Well, I hope it's not him, actually. I hope it's Boris. Because if Boris gets in and Corbyn's in, you can forget about politics altogether. Don't have an election. Have no election at all and just settle it all with a bicycle race.
Your category is politics. The answer is 4%. What is the question?
What are the chances of Johnny Depp appearing on the next series of Mr. and Mrs.?
Is it how much of the old Top Gear audience has Chris Evans held on to?
Including that.
Is it by 2017 what proportion of celebrities will still be alive?
I know. Ooh, we're not the one killing them. Here's a picture of Leader of the Opposition, David Cameron. But what does TLEC stand for?
Is it Tories launch exfoliating cream? Where would you put it?
Or is it Top Man Launch Eton Collection?
Or is it just simply Tosser leading everyone to catastrophe?
Are you not a natural Tory?
Commercials that never made it to air.
To qualify for second meerkat toy, Alexander has invaded Ukraine.
Okay, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is health. Andy Parsons.
With flu jabs now, what they do, don't they, is they put a little bit of flu into you to help you combat the flu. I was thinking by that argument, surely you should be able to have the odd cake to help you fight obesity. Because let's face it, you can do too much exercise, can't you? You know, did you see Madonna's arms? They didn't look right, did they? It's like half human, half Terminator. Of course, that's a problem when you're always picking up small African children going, no, no, no.
Thank you very much, Andy. What did David Cameron announce on Father's Day?
He announced that he wanted people to stigmatise runaway fathers in the same way that we stigmatise drunk drivers.
Yes. It was an unfair attack by David Cameron, really. I mean, he just stigmatised the whole group. Just because you father a child out of wedlock, you run away, take no responsibility for that child and never see them, does not mean that you're not Mayor of London.
This is a picture of the victorious German football team celebrating their World Cup win in the dressing with Chancellor Angela Merkel. Germany defeated Argentina in the final by a single goal from Mario Götze in extra time, becoming the first European team ever to win a World Cup in South America. Were you shouting for anyone or not for anyone? Or
most English people were shouting for Germany, which is a first, really, isn't it?
Well, I didn't mind who won. I just it was a good game, but I found it very difficult just watching as an England fan because it all gone so wrong for England. And I bet if you're watching in 4 years' time on Dave, we're still shit, aren't we?
I could never support the Argentinians, not after what Maradona did. Wembley 2003, he didn't sing Material Girl.
The one I loved, the guy I loved being there was Putin, because he was there because they're hosting the next one, isn't it?
Yes.
And every country that hosts it is desperate to win. And he must have been looking at that final thinking, the only way that Russia are going to win is if we invade Germany.
Putin sitting next to Blatter was the finest photograph in the history of democracy. How do you win your elections? Oh, I never run against anyone. Me neither. High five! High five!
The death of Brazilian football. That's what they'd witnessed.
Oh, yeah.
Not funny, but
that was...
Well,
you say that. It was kind of funny. There was, because a few weeks ago I was talking about the head, you know, the way they were overemphasising the pretty women in the crowd type shots all the time. And I said, and I on the show called for more shots of children crying. And then when they posted, there's that one of a small boy just blubbing his eye, and he's pushing his glasses out of his face, and he's got a Coca-Cola can, which is beautiful branding, absolutely spectacular branding, and he's weeping into it. And I got sent that image 4,000 or 5,000 times on Twitter in the minute after it was posted with the words "Happy now." Yes, I was. I went through it. Welcome. Which category would you like?
Home news.
Home news it is. The category is home news. The answer is 12 days. What is the question?
How long is Andy Murray gonna party after his won Wimbledon?
We'd like to believe so.
Is Andy Murray stupidly about to post his gold medals?
Where's Andy Murray?
Andy Murray is in Dunblane in Scotland. This is his homecoming after winning the US Open, which was a surprise to me, as I had no idea he played golf.
Andy Murray, a man who actually came along to our studios, didn't he?
Yes, indeed he did.
Came along after he'd lost Wimbledon.
Yep.
And then after we'd all taken the piss out of him, he went off and he won the Olympics and he won the US Open.
Yes.
I think all sports people who are struggling should come into the audience of the show. Let's get Paula Radcliffe, Philip Sidowu, Nick Clegg. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I think if I was opening a Pizza Express, I'd open it next to a Vision Express, so we got some of their customers by mistake.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the spectacular opening to the Olympic Games. But what does BGMC stand for?
Is it British Gas Managers Celebrate?
The answer is 1,000,000%. What is the question?
Is it, what is the blood alcohol content of Amy Winehouse?
We're wearing the same thing. How terribly embarrassing. I didn't know you had a kilt. Well, we didn't have a kilt. It was, the inquest... Oh, look, someone's been sick. Has Harry been in?
There is your luggage, Your Highness.
Oh, good. That's my cheese for the journey. Don't want to keep anyone waiting. Wish my mother felt the same.
Unlikely things to hear in a TV election debate.
I think of this studio as a second home, which is why I'm claiming expenses for it.
My girlfriend and I love watching box sets. We got 3 episodes into Orange is the New Black before finding out it wasn't about what would happen if Trump replaced Obama.
Thank you very much. Well done. Point in that round. Gonna go to lady. Come on. It's Christmas time and we hope you're all enjoying the season at home as much as we are here in October. But now, in the past, people have said we don't try harder to be festive on this show, so this year we're going an extra mile. We decided to buy each other Christmas presents, so let's see what everyone got. Chris, I'm just going to go to you first.
OK. Well, my first present is for Hugh. I've bought everybody a bit of headgear. That's for Hugh.
Do I get to put it on?
Yeah, you get to put it on, yeah. That'd be nice, you know. It's Christmas Day, you've got to do that, haven't you? Because Hugh is our captain, Dara. The middle section denotes captaincy. He's the captain of the team.
Captain of the team.
No seniority, no points.
I'm also going to be in Fantasy... What's it called?
He looks more like being a remake of The Village People at the moment.
For Andy, I got I know what it's like going out in public and people hassling you and stuff. I bought Andy
my present.
I look at your present,
I bought Andy a disguise so that he can disguise himself so nobody will know it's Andy. Nobody will be able to tell it's him. For Dara, I just got a lovely hat for him to wear. It's a lovely hat. It's a normal-sized hat for a normal-sized head. Completely normal-sized hat.
I've got a present for you that hasn't been wrapped.
That's all right.
I'm really sorry. It is socks. I know that's boring, but they're not ordinary socks. They're DVT socks. Because I'm very worried about how little you move around, and I don't want you... Normally, you'd have to worry about it on a long... Yeah, it'd be on a long-haul flight you'd have to worry about it, but... Yeah, I haven't seen you walk for... Well, since 2005, so... I've also got a present for Chris here. Because, well, it's really a present for us more than anything. It's
put this on, right?
It's just a game, really. You put that on. You just put that on, OK? And then for the long periods...
You so look like John McEnroe at a
You do. And for the long periods of the show when Dara doesn't bother to look at us or talk to us, we can just play. Where did that
go? This is the
looks
best
like
Christmas ever.
It looks like a Dire Straits video gone wrong.
You go. Oh. Honestly, I don't see what the problem is.
Gosh, this is just like my school days, only now I'm wearing a hat.
No.